Hey everybody, good morning. Good, thank you. I hope you're well on your side too. Yes. So for our ticket stats last week, we had 262 new tickets. This is a 15% increase from the previous week's report and a 20% decrease from the average for the past 8 weeks. Resolution time is currently up to 5 days. We got a few Portis users reaching out today requesting for account deletion because they don't have access to their accounts. We used to have a shared doc with the Portis team for this, but the Shapeshift email is no longer working. So we're reaching out to the Portis team on how to handle this moving forward. First reply time is at 38 minutes. One touch tickets is at 58%. Total solved tickets 285, an 8% increase from last week's report. The customer support community call is also upcoming on January 12, 3 p.m. MST, so please check that out so we can share support updates and data with you. Thanks and good morning.
That's good. So far, so good. So we have a education project team agreement being created. We have meeting times planned for that project, as well as I have the team onboarded to Colony. We kicked off the Meta Factory partnership. Toasty and I did a little bit. We got designs planned. We did a NFT kickoff collaboration. Sort of. We're still working on that a little bit. We have LATAM event planning coming up. Toasty and I need to get on some calls this week. We have LATAM V2 launch prep going on with Portuguese and Spanish right now. And we also have LATAM CoinX AMA coming up on the 13th. I believe that's it.
GM, yes, back to 100%. Follow-up cultures came back negative. I am strep throat free. Happy to be back. Love to see it. All right, so busy week this week. On the 13th, Willie Fox is going to be on LA Token TV, answering questions, and we'll then use that as marketing material. We are onboarding 3 new contributors, Donova, Secret, and Angel Dust, coming on to help us meet the goals of SCP-51. Shapeshift Listings blog article is live as of now, making edits right now to the template, and that will then become a campaign that we then go out with a wider announcement on. Colony Mission Control campaign, still just meeting with Giantkin and Gray Machine to figure out the last parts of the automated process, and then that will be a full campaign that goes out by end of week. If the One Fox and Angel Vault is ready to go live, we will be doing that as well. But obviously, V2 launch is the priority over everything. And that's what's going on for us.
Awesome. Thanks for those updates, Bitcoin. V2 launch is very exciting and looking forward to that. Next up,
we are too.
Giantkin with the Mod Squad.
Good morning. GM, working on the Growth Education Global Merge. Their setup is getting bigger and bigger. The education, we're setting up their stage room for their own meetings to test that and see how that works out better or worse for them. Mod Squad is removed from the game. Bounties. I put up a bounty for basically making a bot. Somebody took it, and we actually have a bot that's being tested. It's right now we have it in the security, and he's trying to check it out and fix it up so it's a little bit better. Verification, we have a new update for that. Instead of being the slash commands, everybody remembers that, it's actually just a button now. And so if they get into that room and they haven't gotten the automatic thing, they could just click a button. It's a lot easier. Seems to be a lot smoother. Craigbot, the recordings bots, they have a new controller, is the news I got. So hopefully everything goes forward with that. The only bad thing is they slash commands. It's a little harder to get Craig started, but we'll get there as we figure out the new thingy. And I've skipped around a little bit, I see. And but that's all I got. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Giantkin. Great job. Next up, we have Diggy with product. How are you doing, Diggy?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. It's a good GM. Let's hear exciting updates for product.
Thanks. We are doing some UX and product prep for the call with Rory on Thursday. Just hoping to put some cool UX together to impress them and hopefully kick off an awesome partnership. So we'll see how that goes, but fingers crossed. We have product office hours this Thursday. So just a reminder for anybody who wants to attend that. We're working on the final pieces for the V2 Go No Go post soft launch. I think the biggest part the product team is working on is that multiple accounts for BTC. And then the gem integration, we talked it over as a product team. We think, and with the engineering work stream, we think it's a good one actually to be a bounty, just given the workload that the product work stream has right now. So we're putting together some documentation and some specs around this, and then working with the engineering team to get that into a bounty. So hopefully that'll be ready in the next few days. And that'll be a bounty for V2 to get gem into V2. And then hopefully the on Juno one can follow shortly after. Keep key settings and setup. These live in beta.shapeshift.com right now. So we're working on the UX and the product specs to bring those into V2. Because that's one of the major items we need in order to get to parity with beta. And then on a product side, just supporting the Cosmos work that got broken down last week. And that's the biggest things we've got going on. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Diggy. Next up, we have Josh with engineering. Welcome up, Josh. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks, and GM, everybody. So this week, our priority, Diggy mentioned it too, is the V2, and so did Petecoin. It's the V2 public launch. What we're doing there, Diggy mentioned the BTC multiple accounts. So that's one piece that we're looking at. And then also the integration with the Yearn router contract that Ocean got deployed on mainnet on Friday. Unchained Scalability, I actually think I wrote that and I think we finished all that work last week, but there's still a little bit of prep on the Unchained side. So in regards to V2, the biggest unknown is the multiple accounts. We've got 3 engineers focused on it right now. And if we don't provide a date for when that will be done before the Wednesday morning kickoff go no go, and if it's not done by then we'll provide a date by Wednesday morning as to when that work will be done. And we expect the Yearn router contract work to be done either by that meeting or shortly thereafter. And then we're also working on Cosmos. So we did a lot of ticket breakdown for the Cosmos work on Friday, did some prep, and then a lot of work on Friday. That work is going to continue, and we'll start the work. And then after the V2 public launch, we will be providing a date for the Cosmos work as well, when everyone can expect to have Cosmos available in the new platform. And then last week was a good week for our bounty program led by Ocean. Is doing really well. Thanks, Ocean. You can see some stats here. We had 3 new contributors. That's great. We created 5 bounties, closed 4 bounties successfully, and then we learned a little bit with a fail. So we're doing well on bringing in some new contributors via the bounty process, which is awesome. That's it.
Awesome. Super exciting to get some new contributors in there. Next up, we have Mr. Nerdhair with security. GM, Mr. Nerdhair.
Hey, guys. First priority this week, and what I expect most of the effort to go to is supporting WebV2 hard launch. We have some performance and stability and stuff improvements regarding the native wallets that I'm working on, and I will be supporting whoever is doing the key setup UI stuff implementation. The thing GK announced earlier is a swap bot to bridge Fox to XFox and back automatically. I'm going through code and made a, it's secure and stuff now, but we need to get the CI/CD stuff set up. So I'll be working on that too. And in general, I'm focusing on the RDP documentation and Zendesk, like ticket macros and stuff. They're all sort of, written with the centralized stuff in mind. And I'm, on a mission to rewrite all of those to be DAO friendly and explain to people what they need to poke at and why they should leave beta alone, basically. Anyway, that's pretty much it for us. Thanks.
Before you hop off, Mr. Nerd Hair, could you explain what RDP is for the layman's in the audience?
Sorry, but yes, you caught me there. Responsible Disclosure Program. That's awesome. The fancy word for our bug bounty program. People write into security at ShapeShift.io telling us they found problems with our apps, and sometimes they're real and sometimes they're not. And it's very nice to have well-written, pre-canned responses for most of those situations.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the explanation. GM, Mr. Nerd Hair. Next up, we have Tyler with operations. GM Tyler, how are you doing?
Doing well, Ron, GM all. Ops updates for this week. We had 9 issues in the triage report that just got posted this morning. 7 in app and 2 are in beta. So we're kind of at that cool point that we're getting more testing and reports of bugs in app than in beta. And I hope to see that trend continue as more people use app over the old service. It's a 45% increase from last week. And we did have one prod issue that was related to the 1.0.4 deploy last week. The V2 Go No Go Take 4 is scheduled for Wednesday at 10 a.m. Josh spoke a little bit on that earlier too, about potential launch dates and things like that. I believe that will be in E1 or else it will be in the general voice chat. Please join us if you have any interest in following along. We found a couple of bugs in the last deployment release that we did. And so all of those have been, or most all of those have been posted to GitHub now. And we're hopeful that we can get some bounties drawn up for those and the rest that we do put up today and unsolved user problems tomorrow, or potentially the backlog grooming meeting on Friday. So please join us there, where Ops and Ocean and some other people will be looking at GitHub tickets and creating bounties. If you're a bounty hunter out there, these meetings are a great way for you to get connected with us, see the scope of work, see the problems live, and ask questions. We have a Visions and Values meeting at 4 p.m. In E1 All Access. I believe this is going to be the first of a couple of them as we brainstorm kind of how we're going to write and construct the DAO's visions and values. This is something that Josh will be leading, and is something that has been practiced at other DAOs like Giveth before. So I think we'll be able to really get some cool things and have a really solid vision we can stand behind. So please join us there and put your 2 sats in. Operations is hiring 2 ops assistants right now. Please tell your friends, tell your crypto interested, invite them over to the DAO Discord and send them our way. Feel free to DM me if you got anyone that you think I should poke at to see if they'd be interested in joining our process a little bit. And we're hopeful to try and get those positions filled as soon as we have some viable candidates. And then we are doing another deployment test this week, so ops will be ready for testing. We're poking around at the current environment right now to make sure we know what it looks like before we go into a new deployment. So if you do need testing as well beyond that, please tag ops and we'll help you out. Thanks, Ron, GM, all, and we'll have a good week.
GM Tyler. Next up, we have Kent with Tokenomics. GM Kent, how are you doing?
Hey, Ron, not too bad. How are you doing?
Doing great. Let's hear about the exciting stuff going on in tokenomics.
Yeah, so I hope everybody's doing well. So just a couple updates here to sort of update everybody on what the TMDC did last week. We had to raise money for our January payroll and some ETH Denver expenses per the past ETH Denver proposal from last week. We facilitated that with another Rari loan. We're very mindful of the fact that we are exposed to these loans in a bearish and very skittish market. In this type of market, especially lower, longer tail assets like Fox can dump really fast. I'm not saying it will. I hope it doesn't. But you can get very big red candles. So we're being very mindful to over collateralize this loan to the extent that even from here we could suffer like a 60% downdraft, and we'll be watching that very closely because getting liquidated is not fun. We also approved an Angel Vault deposit to facilitate that. That has been given the green light from our committee, so that's going to be great to get that set up. Also with respect to stablecoin exposure, this is something that we really need in order to weather a potential bear market. Fortunately, we're actually starting to get stables streaming into our treasury thanks to a Fox to USDC bond on Olympus. This went into effect last week and is already streaming money into our treasury as we sell this. We're selling currently $1 million over the course of a month, prorated. That's about 33K a day. I think there's a very valid argument for increasing that because we really need more stablecoin exposure, and there seems to be sufficient demand for this. So I think that's something we should consider doing potentially, this week after a few more days of the successful bond. We also have a proposal we've been talking through with the Faye/Rari team. I guess you could call that the tribe now. This would entail swapping a good amount of Fox for Faye and getting more stablecoin exposure. Something on the order of like 5 million. So we were kind of in ongoing talks with them. Also, there's the success token that was approved by the TMDC, specifically collateralizing up to $2 million worth of success token sale with Fox. So that is active as well, or at least that process is ongoing. The sale is not yet active. In terms of some big picture stuff, I really encourage you to check out the liquidity mining and liquidity token buyback proposal that I submitted on the tokenomics section of the forum. So this really describes a strategy for the next phase of our liquidity mining, which essentially would be kind of more of the same, but it's accompanied by a very aggressive purchase of our liquidity tokens via a extended ETH to Fox Olympus bond, the one that's active right now. I don't want to conflate that with the Fox to USDC bond. That's something else. But definitely, we'll talk about that a lot tomorrow in our tokenomics chat, which as always should be fun. And then one last note, I'm super excited to announce that our first bounty is underway under tokenomics. As a reminder, we have money allocated for contributors in tokenomics. This bounty entails submitting proposals to get Fox integrated into both Aave and Compound. Fortunately, we've had our first taker on that. That's Val the dad, and he's going to be jumping into that. So super excited to have him involved in tokenomics and in those efforts. So a lot going on, guys, and obviously crypto, never a dull moment. But yeah, tune in tomorrow for more on all this. Have a good day.
Awesome, GM Kent. Next up, we have the Osmosis update. I believe Lily Fox will be covering for Danielle. Welcome up, Lily Fox. How are you?
Thanks, Ron. Best day ever. GM, everybody. Hope you guys are all having the best day ever so far, too. Danielle's out on her honeymoon right now celebrating, so I'm covering for her. Also working with Fox McCloud to cover for her on the project management side. And the update is that right now we are pausing work on the Osmosis specific bounty. If you guys recall, that was a bounty to implement cross-chain trading for Osmosis, as well as liquidity providing and bonding, which is another word for farming with those liquidity pool tokens. When we synced up with the team working on this, as well as engineering, we agreed that because Cosmos functionality is and core functionality and Osmosis core functionality is a prereq to doing that trading in V2, We are instead collaborating together with the engineering workstream and the Osmosis team to first get support for not only Cosmos and Osmosis, but doing this in a way where it's very easy to add any other Cosmos SDK chain going forward. And some of these include Binance Chain, Thorchain, Kava, Secret Network, Terra. There's a growing number of these Cosmos zones getting a lot of traction, and they're pretty. There's a lot of commonalities. So last week, engineering broke down the work to get Cosmos Core supported. So all of the kind of core functionality that these Cosmos zones have in common: sending, receiving, seeing your TX history, being able to stake, which is pretty exciting. So once this work is done, initially users will be able to stake both Cosmos and Osmosis. And then hopefully soon after, part of the goal for this epic is for any engineer to be able to come in and add the core support for a new Cosmos zone in one day. So hopefully once this work is done, we'll start to see all of the Cosmos zones supported in ShapeShift in short order. This will be very cool. I'm not aware of a wallet right now where you can both do stuff on Ethereum as well as also Cosmos, let alone Bitcoin and these other chains too. So that'll be a very unique value add for ShapeShift. And along with the Cosmos and Osmosis validators, will help generate some revenue for the DAO. So right now you can see all these tickets for the web work in GitHub. Also, if you check out the spec, all of the tickets in GitHub are linked from the spec, which is pretty cool to see. And then engineering and the Osmosis team are starting to pick up these tickets, and then they're also continuing to break down the back end side of the work now that the website's broken down. And that's the update.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Willie Fox, for those Osmosis updates. Super exciting as a huge IBC fan. Next up, we have the Fox Foundation, and we have Willie and Ocean. Welcome up, Ocean.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate it. So just a few small updates there. I don't know, Willie, if I missed anything here, but we're still waiting on the entity setup for the foundation. It's currently nothing that we can control. It's kind of just waiting between legal matters and the board being created. We do have a tentative board meeting that's scheduled for the 20th of this month, but there is a potential that that would be pushed back if the entity is not created yet. So we're kind of just prepping for that and waiting a little bit as we get everything finalized. Will, you got anything to add?
Nope, you nailed it. Thanks, Ocean. Looking forward to the board meeting. We'll let you guys know how that goes. But it should be a good one. It's our first board meeting, so we're kind of painting the full picture to the board of what our plans are for the year, and hopefully getting their sign off on our proposed budget. We'll let you guys know hopefully how that goes soon, but it's possible that we might push that back, and depending on how this entity formation goes. We're still hoping to have that done kind of like any day, but it's dragging out longer than we'd like. Soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Fox Foundation, for those updates. If there's anyone else that has anything, otherwise I will have the mod squad bring back up the Lo-Fi bot and give us back a little bit of time here. Thank you all.
Yeah, maybe just one other comment regarding the some of the stats that were presented in the engineering update. Never mind.
Oh, I got a little aggressive. I got a little aggressive there. It's all right.
No, I was just going to say that we're seeing really good traction with new contributors coming in, not only from just coming in from a Bounties standpoint, but also several of them have picked up tickets that aren't even bountied at this point and just contributing to the code base in meaningful ways. So that's really great to see, and we're definitely getting tips out to them to keep them involved. But it seems like there's some really good traction as we get more people in the door and some excitement around what we're building, which is why we see these contributors stick around. So that's a huge testament to everything that's going on in the DAO in general. And thank you everyone for supporting that effort.
Yeah, super exciting stuff to get all those people coming up and contributing, and hopefully we can keep them around for a longer period of time.
Yep. For sure. Sorry, you could put Lo-Fi back on. Thanks, Rod, for facilitating today.
Awesome. Have a great one.
I actually have something as well.
GK has something.
Because I did skip it. The bounty question that everybody's doing their own thing. We needed some kind of central way to do this. We're testing a bot out. It's kind of bounty bot. I don't know if it'll work for anybody at all. We're still testing the early stages. And of course, there's also the colonies. putting something out. Mission Control, I believe, that's coming out soon. The view I saw was awesome, but I don't know which way is better. Any further ideas, thoughts that would be good to put out there? That's all.
All of the bounties are coming out here. Great stuff.
And
Maybe
from
that's
every
a
direction.
good
Yeah.
conversation for the stand up tomorrow morning for engineering, and talk some more about if and how they'd want to integrate that. So, and Willie's Lincoln Mission Control. I think that unless anyone else has anything, I will call this meeting adjourned. Have a good GM, everyone.